All right, what is going on, you guys? Brian Bag here, and this is my recap for this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, or I should say tonight's episode of Raw. So let's just get right into it. I'm gonna run through everything that went down, in real quick, being real quick about it. We had an opening segment involving Randy Orton that would set up the main event of the night, where Kevin Owens would come out during this segment, wanting to know why Randy Orton did what he did to Edge, and Owens then issued the challenge. Randy accepted, so that was the main event of the evening. We had Angel Garza going one-on-one with Humberto Carrillo. This has been basically a feud that's been going on for quite some time. Garza picked up the win in this one. We had Ricochet, who has a huge opportunity this Thursday at Super Showdown when he challenges Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. He took on Luke Gallows of the OC, and Ricochet was victorious. My only problem with this is that, no disrespect to Luke Gallows, but he is not Brock Lesnar. I think Brock Lesnar is going to destroy Ricochet this Thursday. The only way Ricochet is going to, have any kind of a chance is if he uses his speed and quickness and agility to try to, to try to out quick Brock Lesnar in using his speed and agility. We saw a backstage segment involving the OC and Aleister Black, where the OC were talking backstage. Aleister Black was walking through, getting ready for his rematch with Eric Rowan on tonight's episode. The OC kind of saw him walking, started, basically just talking bad to him and stuff like that. They attacked him and just beat him down. Black was still able to compete. However, he was not at 100%, and I'll get into his match in a bit. We had, speaking of Brock Lesnar, the WWE Champion, he was on Raw tonight along with his advocate Paul Heyman, who basically made it clear that, and made it a spoiler, that Brock Lesnar is going to defeat Ricochet, take him to Suplex City at Super Showdown, and he's going to do the exact same thing to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. F5 him, take him to Suplex City, and Lesnar will still be the WWE Champion. But we'll have to wait and see what happens Thursday at Super Showdown, and in the event that Lesnar retains, which some people probably are already saying that he is, because are probably thinking he already is going to retain, because they've been building for McIntyre versus Lesnar for WrestleMania since McIntyre eliminated him at the Royal Rumble. That's probably what's going to happen. But Aleister Black was in action. He took on Eric Rowan. This was a rematch from last week. Black, not at 100%. He was feeling it in his ribs, in his abdomen, and his back and everything because of the attack by the OC earlier in the night. But that did not stop him, as he would use two Black Mass kicks to finish off Rowan. A little bit of thing happened in this one. They both were ending up on the outside of the ring, and Rowan was going to go for like a splash or squish Black into the ring steps, but Black moved out of the way, and Rowan knocked the steps over, where his whatever he has in that cage with the sack on it over it fell over. He picked it up after he threw Aleister back in the ring, and picked it up, and then that kind of caused a little bit of distraction, because when he got back in the ring, boom, he got hit with two Black Mass kicks by Aleister Black, and that is what picked up the victory for Aleister Black. Alistair, after the match, said he wants AJ Styles next week, and they made that match official when Raw comes to Brooklyn next week. AJ Styles versus Alistair Black next week on Raw. Will AJ be in possession of the two-way Mountain Trophy? Of course, he's going to be a part of that gauntlet match coming up this Thursday at Super Showdown, where it will be AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, the United States Champion Andrade, R-Truth, Bobby Lashley, and as we found out on tonight's episode, that Rusev is out of that gauntlet match and Rey Mysterio is in. So that is a huge change, even though when they showed the graphic of who the participants are going to be, they showed Rusev, but the commentator, I think it was Tom Phillips, was saying that when he was announcing the combatants, he then said about Rey Mysterio is going to be in that matchup as well. So Rusev is out, Mysterio is in this Thursday for that gauntlet match for the two-way Mountain Trophy at Super Showdown on the WWE Network. Early start time for that event, 12 noon. I think it's 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. So on the WWE Network, of course, it takes place in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. We had a Drew McIntyre interview. Of course, Drew won the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. He will be in the main event of WrestleMania, challenging for the WWE Championship. He talked about that. He talked about when he first came to the WWE, how he was labeled the Chosen One, and that everybody kept saying he's going to be a future world champion. He then talked about some of his failures, how he got fired from the company. The only person he could blame for that was himself. He talked about when he came back, his time in NXT, when he came back to Raw, and he basically said that he wanted people to remember Drew McIntyre for what he's going to become, not for playing a air guitar when he was a part of 3MB. Really good interview with McIntyre, in my opinion. So we had a Truth TV segment that turned into a match with R-Truth and Bobby Lashley. This one was short. Lashley won with the spear. Of course, both of these guys are going to be in that gauntlet match for the trophy this Thursday at Super Showdown. We had throughout the night a recap of what's been going on between Becky Lynch and Shayna Baszler. We had the Women's Elimination Chamber contract signing for the Raw, the number one contendership for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. It was Asuka, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan. They all signed the contract. I believe it was before Asuka signed it, Shayna Baszler, who did not come out beforehand, she came out of the crowd when her music hit. She signed the contract. Asuka then signed it. Then it broke down after that. Natalya and Shayna went face to face. Asuka and Shayna went face to face after Asuka pushed Natalya out of the way. Then Natalya and Asuka went at it. Liv Morgan jumped on Ruby Riott. Sarah Logan was trying to keep those two, try to break up those two because of the whole, they were the Riott Squad at one point. And, Sarah's in the middle of this feud with, Liv and Ruby because of because they were friends at one time, and now with Ruby Riott attacking when she came back, she went after Liv Morgan. Now, how does Sarah Logan feel about this? After that, after they all got out of the ring and were battling, Shayna was in the ring. Here comes Becky. Of course, Becky is the current Raw Women's Champion. She wants a piece of Shayna. They got into it to where security and referees had to break it up. We had Angelo Dawkins take on Murphy, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions. This was short. Dawkins was going for the win. Rollins got involved, caused a disqualification. Then Seth took on Montez Ford. Of course, these two teams are going to battle it out at Super Showdown for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Rollins picked up the win in that one. Then in the main event, it was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Near the middle of the match, Owens was going for a top rope move, but he saw that Rollins, AOP, and Murphy were coming out. Then a little bit later, the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits came out and went after Murphy and the AOP. Rollins got involved on a couple of occasions in this match, and that was enough to cause a distraction. I think the last time he got involved, where Orton hit that middle rope DDT, he went for the pin. The referee went down for the 3 and made a fast count. So Randy Orton was your winner. Afterwards, Rollins threw 2 chairs in the ring for Randy to finish off Owens. Owens got up, had a chair. Orton had a chair. Orton dropped his and left the ring. The referee was outside checking on Rollins to see if he was okay. They wound up getting chased by Owens, who grabbed the referee before he could go anywhere and threw him back in the ring, ripped off his referee shirt. Here we come to find out that he had a Monday Night Messiah t-shirt on. Referee wound up getting the stunner, and then wound up getting powerbombed through a table by Kevin Owens. So obviously the feud between Owens and Rollins not over yet by a long shot. I was kind of surprised I was kind of taken aback by how fast the referee was counted Owens down when Orton beat him, but it is what it is. So, I mean, this week's episode of Raw heading into Super Showdown Thursday, I mean, it was decent. It was okay. They announced that next week Beth Phoenix is going to be at Raw to give an update on her husband Edge. They also announced that Rey Mysterio and Humberto Carrillo are going to team up to take on Angel Garza and United States Champion Andrade. And of course, Aleister Black versus AJ Styles next week is set as well. So, hopefully it turns out to be a good show next week. This week's episode was decent. That's it as far as tonight's concerned. This has been my Raw recap. I am Brian, and thank you for watching.